The New Republic was actually pretty bad. Actually, really bad. Well, so how? Well, 5 years after Return of the Jedi, we can see that they're already trying to recruit people to get into their order. They're already recruiting people, but they're spreading their forces thin. It's two new orders. Like, there was the Empire, and the Empire destroyed. So you're making a new order, but you need to make sure that the old order is, gone. They didn't focus on making sure everything was destroyed, not trying to find hidden bases. Just focused on their politics of getting their order strong, which never really did. And they spread their force thin. And this kind of reminds me of the Clone Wars, where that you send out, you spread your troops thin, because they were fighting a war, but these people, but the New Republic was just spreading their forces thin, just trying to tell everyone, hey, we're the New Order, we're in charge. And the reason it worked for the Clone Wars is because there were so many Jedi to back up the Order, and this time it was only Luke. Luke can only do so much. Now, looking why the New Republic was bad, we have to see why the Empire did better. How did the Empire do better than just the New Republic? Well, the Empire lasted about 30 years, so how are they so much better? Well, the First Order, which took over the New Republic, is kind of just the same thing as the Empire, just with a much smaller military. So what did the Empire and the First Order do to, stay powerful for longer? Well, when thinking about it, you have to put in mind the two different principles that the Empire had and the New Republic had. The Empire had rules of more just enforcing order, right? They were very strong, in numbers, right? They had tons of stormtroopers. That's why Palpatine preferred stormtroopers over just keeping the clones, because he wanted the numbers. He wanted to look strong. And they were more, they would enforce rules, right, more, and they had their own rules, and they didn't really give people as much freedom, and they were just basically a dictator. Now, the New Republic, what they did is they gave people freedom, which it kind of, but they're not, it was kind of, it's not as strong, because when you're the Empire, they're enforcing rules. They have fleets over skies, making sure everyone's doing the right thing. The New Republic's giving you your freedom, right? But when they're giving you the freedom, a lot of chaos can happen. And that's how the Empire rose, because they're giving everyone their freedom, and the remaining parts of the Empire that they never really destroyed is starting to come back, as we can see in The Mandalorian. So it's not as much as the New Republic's fault, but it's more the New Republic's principles that weaken them. And, well, when the First Order took over, they just thought the First Order was a joke. So, because, in The Force Awakens, the Republic was still a thing till halfway through the movie. It was just the Resistance that was against the First Order. But besides from that, it's the principles, I think, that made the New Republic weaker, because they can't enforce and tell everyone what to do, because they don't have the same principles as the Empire. It's like the Republic before the Empire. They gave people freedom, and then the Clone Wars happened because the Sith rose, because, there was all that freedom, right? And then the same thing goes with the New Republic. The New Republic's giving everyone the freedom, which, if there's not enough people to enforce the rules, then an outbreak will happen. So that's a pretty much a breakdown on why the New Republic is actually pretty bad, and their principles. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think in the comments below.